Welcome to the No Life Gaming Show. This is where we talk about gaming news, gaming reviews, previews, tech reviews, and previews. We talk about the latest in technology and gaming, and we have a good old time doing so. As you can see down in the lower, I guess that would be your right hand, you'll see our Twitter. Make sure you follow us at No Life's Gaming. Also, right over to the right there, over on Twitch, /no_lives. Follow us there because we're going to be doing a lot more streaming as well. I hope you guys liked our E3 live reaction coverage. That was really fun. Hopefully we do more stuff like that as more events come in. I'm also planning on covering almost all of like the technology side of the convention. So, you know, like WWDC, the Apple ones, the developer conventions, all of them. So whenever something comes out that we think is cool and we're able to cover it, if we don't have any prior things going on, we'll do our best to try to stream it, give it the reactions. And one thing that we need to be doing, we just haven't been able to do it yet, I've been a little busy with my other projects, is cutting the videos down into smaller sizes. Doing it with No Life the show, it actually takes a lot more time because you have to, you know, you have, it's like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours worth of footage that you have to like scan through. And I just haven't had the time to sit down and dedicate that much time to it. But I will do my best to try to take the best parts out for you. That way, if you don't like the whole show, you don't have time to watch the whole show, you get the little clips. Also, like when we do gaming reviews throughout the show, we'll do that as well. So you're going to see a bunch of, we're just trying to put more content up. We're taking it slow. We're not in any rush right now. We want to make sure that we find our niche and we find it effectively. So with that being said, let's begin the show. What's up, everyone? You guys want to come in?
Nope.
Yeah, pretty much.
Howdy.
How's it going, guys and gals?
Good, man.
What's up?
What's up, my guy? My guy.
Hey, buddy.
So let's just jump right into it. I'm getting an echo from someone, by the way, from someone's headphones. What have we been playing? I'll start with this. I finally got through with The Witcher. There was a lot of little side things that I had to do. And I haven't played this game in quite some time. It's one of my favorite all-time games ever. So I got back into it, and I enjoyed every second of it. And now I'm about to go through the expansion packs. I haven't even touched them yet. And every time I jump into that game, I just realize how gigantic that game is. It is absolutely humongous, and I always forget it when I move on. Have you guys played The Witcher 3?
Oh, yeah. I fucking love that game, man. That game is fantastic. That and all of its, both of its expansions are really good, too, if you haven't played those.
Have you beaten the expansions?
Yeah, I've beaten Heart of Stone, and I got to, I'd say the last bit of Blood and Wine, but my fan went out on my computer, so I had to replace it. And then once I had to do that, I just didn't get back into playing it.
Now, how many hours do you think extra do those expansions give me?
The Heart of Stone is actually I'm not going to say it's short. It's a nice little quest line, but you could probably do the whole expansion main quest line of Heart of Stone in probably 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. But Blood and Wine, it adds a whole new area. It has new concepts like building your own house. Not really building it, but owning a house and supplying it and building it up and customizing it.
That's so dope.
Yeah, like I said, it's a whole new area. And that one adds, I'd say it's a bit more substantial amount of time, especially if you're a completionist. If you're a completionist, then it probably add 15, 20 hours to your gameplay.
That's the thing with The Witcher 3 that I completely forgot, because I was I'm just going to hop in, finish the quest lines that I haven't done, and then get the expansions and play them. But as soon as you start playing, it's so gigantic that you just get lost in the stupidest little side quests that take forever, that they're just completely fleshed out with dialogue and actors and all these different experiences. It's insane how much content that they put in that game, and they keep putting in there. So I'm excited to get into these expansions, because I know it's going to at least add another 12 to 20 hours to gameplay, new gameplay, which is insane to me.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. But yeah, like you said, the main thing about The Witcher and why it takes so long, especially, is because the side quests are so good.
Yeah.
The side quests feel like actual quests and not just filler.
Yeah.
It
You
feels
mean-
like you're actually accomplishing something, and you have effect on the world, and they're just good side quests, and it's just really easy to do a lot of them. Like the Witcher hunts, I love doing the Witcher hunts.
Yep.
You
They're
don't want to
pretty
go kill that dragon for the 20th time?
Dude,
Like, don't.
and
I love
you-
Skyrim, but their end quests were that was bullshit.
Yeah, that's the difference between The Witcher and Skyrim is the side quest. Skyrim's cool. It did have interesting like dungeons, and it kind of had the same feel, but they were just so much better on The Witcher. And even if you did have to kill like the same dragon over and over again or the same kind of quest, the combat is so good that it's fun. It's fun to do that. Where Skyrim, that's the weak point in my opinion in that game is the combat. It's not that fun. It's sort of like MMO style. You're just like wah, wah, wah,
So
cast a
most
spell.
like they should make a new one instead of a game from 2011.
They should, but a Switch
But-
Skyrim? Are you kidding me? I'm pumped
But
for
my
that.
VR Skyrim, man. I gotta have Skyrim.
Skyrim VR on the Switch. I'm down. Let's do it. Let's get it
Bethesda
happening.
is
No,
happy,
not on the Switch.
Bethesda is happy to announce Skyrim on iOS.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
Skyrim on the Switch. It would be, or Skyrim VR on the Switch. It would be in like 144p. Just like it'd look like Minecraft at that point.
Dude, but it 4K Minecraft.
Yeah, would it be 4K Minecraft? Like Xbox XX One X?
Speaking of 4K, I'm looking at 4K TVs to replace this one, which is 1080, and they're at the price point where they're expensive, but they are so much more affordable than they used to be.
Oh yeah. No,
But-
some of them are getting like good ones are getting down under 500 now. And
Yeah.
like there's sales
What?
sometimes. Yeah, they're starting to come down.
Yeah, you gotta
Are they also like smart TVs by default?
Oh yeah,
these days now?
everything is pretty much.
mostly.
Yeah.
I've seen some 4Ks that aren't smart TVs. If you're gonna get a 4K TV for like the PS4 Pro or the not the Scorpio, what's it called? The Xbox One X.
The Xbox One S.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, you need to get the HDR. You need to get like it has to have a 10-bit, it has to have 4:4 color chrome. It has to have like all these different things that you have to look out for, and that's the stuff that costs
It's
money.
gotta have the RGB lights too.
I'm good on that. I do not need RGB fucking lights on my TV. And then when you look at that, so you have like 4K, which is just regular 4K, which are actually pretty affordable. Like you said, you can find those like $500-$600. But then you have like
Or
the
if you
OLEDs.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, or if you check reddit.com/r/build a PC sales, sometimes places like Target just put $600 ones for $100
Really?
now and then. Oh yeah, that's happened a couple of times.
No way.
Where people
4K
have got-
TV?
Yeah, people have gotten a really nice Acers and Asus's for just it was a 50-inch 4K TV, 100. They put them on sale accidentally, price marked it wrong, $120 out the door.
That is insane. What a deal.
Mhm.
What a fucking deal. I would buy one for my kitchen
Mm-hmm.
at that point. But yeah, like then you get into like OLED versus LED versus like all these different technologies. So it's really hard to pick. Then you have to get into like frame rate because then there's like all different kinds of motion flow. There's like 960 XR, then there's 120.
What?
It's so confusing, and
There's
they all
panel
are.
types too on top of because you were talking about the background light because you can do LED or LCD stuff like that. Then there's different panels, everything like God.
Yeah,
damn.
there's like local frame dimming, which is like just the frame of it lights up the whole screen, or the full array, which is like the entire screen has a backlight to it. It gets crazy. It's fucking insane. So I
No,
think there needs to be like someone to come out. Maybe it'll be No Life. Who knows? And we'll put that up on the website. That'll be the first thing. But like a 4K buying guide, like breaking down the best of the best, the mid-range, and then the low end, and the best ones you can get for your money there. Because no one really knows. There's so many different things to know. I was into it for like 3-4 hours just looking at all different 4K
Dude,
TVs.
that's the biggest reason why I still go to Best Buy and places like that is just to be able to actually see them. I
Yeah.
still try to do that with monitors and TVs of any type is actually go and see them.
Best Buy's the best for TVs, I think, so
A
far.
list like that's going to be big. I think this upcoming holiday season,
Yeah.
you're going to see a lot of 4K selling.
Or you can just say fuck it and go buy CC's new TV. It's 256 inches, I think, if I remember right.
Whose TV?
Like the actual bottom is like 20 feet.
Who is that?
Sea Seed.
I
How
don't know what
much is
that
that
is.
going for?
Five and a
Crowd
half
controlled?
grand. Five and a half grand.
Wait, five and a
Get out of
half
that price
grand?
range.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's really
I know,
not that
that's
much.
it. Yeah, it's really cheap for the fact that the bottom it's a 20 feet wide fucking TV.
That's like if you see my apartment in the background, that's like
Oh yeah,
that's like the
my
entire
apartment.
Yeah, that's like that's too big. That's not that bad. I was looking at some 4K TVs that are only like 65 inch for like $5,000. That's really interesting. 20 feet long.
It's ridiculous.
That's kind of nuts. That would be this entire wall right here. Which,
yeah, just a
which
TV.
would be sick, dude. I'd be
Just
so
a-
into
just-
that.
Just a giant 4K TV. Go buy an old nuclear silo and just buy one of those, and there's your window now.
But I like 4K. If you haven't experienced 4K, it is a game changing. It's like, it's not as big as like when we were at like standard def and then jumped to 1080p. It's not that
Yeah.
big of a difference. Remember that? That was crazy. We were like,
That's
wow,
what-
it looks so real. It's fucking
Dude,
1080p,
I can't do it though,
720.
dude. I can't
I
do
mean-
it. It's not good enough, dude. You got to buy a new iMac Pro with a 5K screen now.
Or the Dell
That's-
8K. There's an 8K
That's one of the hard
screens
things
now.
about selling people on 4K, like with these gaming conferences. It's like, here's our 4K. Look how beautiful it is. It's like, I'm also watching that on a 1080p monitor
Yeah.
at like whatever resolution I have. I can't see. You have to see 4K in person to really see it.
Yeah, it's quite a substantial difference. So I'm excited to see the future of console gaming hit that. I mean, if the Xbox One X can hit that reliably, and we get games like Witcher that you could play 4K. Because I remember when I first got The Witcher, it would have cost me so much money to hit 4K and run it at 60 frames per second. It's a gorgeous game. There's a lot going on.
When
But it's just a
Witcher came out,
massive-
you couldn't have done it.
Yeah, you
You just couldn't
pretty much
have.
still can't right now. It's
Yeah.
pretty difficult. Even with my 1080 Ti, it kind of just caps out at like 60, a little bit over 70.
Well, yeah, I mean, if assuming we're talking like high and ultra,
Yeah.
like you
Well,
could have done 60 on like low and maybe mid when it came out, but like even when it came out,
and the
that's a
1080
pipe dream.
and those graphics cards weren't even out yet. You know when they
Yeah,
first
that's what I mean.
I'm just saying, we still can't run NVIDIA Hairworks.
I can, but only on Geralt. Everything else is just fucking too much.
I'm intrigued by what the Xbox is going to do, just because like we already know that some games just aren't going to be true 4K the entire time. I think they said Assassin's Creed, the new one. That's one of those games you can't expect it to be true 4K all the time. Destiny 2 is going to be running at 30 FPS. So it's going to be interesting seeing what comes out for that system at true 4K.
dude, I can't even play Crisis 3 at 4K, so I don't care.
I don't think anything
I
can, dude.
miss Crysis.
That game is the worst optimized game ever made.
Remember when that used to be a selling point of PCs? This can play Crysis at max settings.
Yeah, there's a lot of like different technologies going on in 4K TVs, so I'm just warning everyone listening, if you're getting into it and you want the best of the best, you're going to pay for it. But you can get like a good mid-range bundle for a good price. You just have to really know what you're looking for. Plus the Korean TVs are actually really dope and they got good prices. You just have to find them. And you can't see that they don't have them at Best Buy. You have to just go off of reviews on Amazon and stuff. But they do have some good shit over in Korea. There's another TV that just came out called the W. Actually, here's a picture of it. I'm going to put up on the screen. And it's a LG's new TV. And it's the size, it's thinner than your phone. It's so thin, it just plasters right up on your wall. And the innards of the TV goes down in this little like sound bar thing. It is awesome. And they did there's a video online of like this like art gallery, and one of the piece in the middle is the TV, and it just looks really cool. So TVs are getting really good again, which is exciting. I love TVs. I love like TV technology. I don't know why. But I remember like when 1080 first came around, that was a really big deal. The same thing's going with like OLED technology and 4K. It's not going to be big, I don't think, for another 2 years. Well, actually, maybe next year it'll start to pick up. But 2 years, you'll probably see pretty much everyone will start getting 4K. But then we'll be on 8K or 5K, whatever the next thing is, or whatever technology.
All I'm gonna say is don't use a Wii around that TV.
No, definitely not.
If it's that thin, I don't trust it with a Wiimote, man. I
Definitely
don't trust
not.
myself with a Wiimote around that.
It's crazy thin.
Just put the hand strap on, Jerry. Oh my god.
I still don't, dude. I don't want to. I'm not risking a Wiimote even with a wrist strap around a 3K TV.
Well, speaking of the Wii, let's talk about ARMS because I've been playing that as well. Me and Doobie have been playing it. How much have you been playing it, Doobie?
With like Father's Day and everything, I really haven't had a chance to play much. I played a little bit today. I need more time. I just need more time to get used to the motion controls.
Do you like it so far? Are you having fun with it?
I'm having fun with it, yeah. I'm at that point like playing the Grand Prix mode to just like figure everything out in CPU. And I just beat the 3rd difficulty today, and you need to beat the 4th one to get ranked mode unlocked. And like the nice thing with it is like when you lose, it lets you just keep retrying that instead of like sending you all the way back to the beginning. So like there was the skill shot thing, and I was just like getting wrecked like 5 times in a row until I finally like was able to beat it. But it's one of those where it's like I need to keep playing to get the feel, understanding each weapon. It's just one of those games you're gonna have to sink time into it before you really understand.
It's I had a lot of fun with it, and like I was saying to you guys before, I was holding them wrong. I was holding them like how you would normally hold them. I guess like with your fingers on the pad and the buttons, but you have to hold them sideways. So I was fucking doing so bad online with it. But I was actually having a lot of fun.
Just got your
with it.
fingers just like this. Just.
I will say that the controls are pretty. They're pretty responsive. They're pretty tight. The motion controls do a really good job, which is surprising because they're so small and light. But they do like. There's no. It doesn't feel cheap. It does feel like it's like connected in some way. You just have to time. It's all about timing in this game, and it's all about when to block and when to throw your things and jumping around. But once you get used to it, it is pretty fun. I can see a lot of people really enjoying this game. Hopefully I don't know how well it's gonna sell because it just doesn't feel like that kind of game. I don't know. What do you think? You think it's gonna sell really good?
I mean, I know, like, I have a friend that we were talking about ARMS. He picked it up. I mean, like, he's in love with the Switch, and he hosts a July 4th party every year, and he's, like, already, like, making plans that we're going to have an ARMS tournament at this party. So, like, he's amped. Me, I'm like, I really want to see what they do. The nice thing is it's getting the Splatoon treatment with the free LC. You're going to have free updates. They already announced that they're adding another character in later, I believe, either the end of this month or like going into next month. You're getting another character. And they're going to keep adding characters. So you're getting value just in updates for free. But I really do want to see what the balance is going to be like and if the fighting game community picks it up.
I don't think they're gonna pick it up.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna pick up that really well. I find it interesting that Nintendo is really getting into the esports community, though. They just announced, they just made a new Twitter, the Nintendo versus Twitter, which is all about competitive esports for Nintendo, from Smash Brothers to ARMS to Splatoon. So I think it's gonna be interesting. How well it's gonna sell, it depends on. I mean, the problem with Switch right now in terms of games is like, what else is there to buy that you haven't already bought?
Yeah.
Splatoon doesn't come out till next month. That's going to be a huge seller because Japan loves Splatoon.
Really?
But oh god, yeah, Japan is all about Splatoon. But I don't know. ARMS new IP. We'll see. I like the game, but I mean, I bought it because one, I was interested in it, and two,
It's
I
the
need more
only
games for my Switch.
yeah, it's the only other game for the Switch right now.
I was about to say, and 3, what else are you going to buy?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if you
got
already
Zelda, I
have,
got
if you already
Mario
have
Kart,
Breath of the Wild,
I got this guy a 5. I've got a nice amount of like titles on the eShop. Yeah.
It's the only other game besides Zelda. I wouldn't even count at Mario Kart the other ones because that one's a remake.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that Nintendo, the format they're doing right now for their gaming lineup for the rest of the year, how they have it nicely evened out. Because that was the problem the Wii had. It had stretches of 6 months where no major titles came out. it's hard to sell a system when you don't have any games for it.
Yeah, well, they need to
You know.
keep rocking and rolling.
Yeah, Splatoon's next month. They got Pokken coming out, which I didn't play the first one, but I saw the footage from E3 I saw sold me on it.
It looks a little fucking whack, in my opinion.
I like Pokemon, so
I want to see some more third party. They need to get some third party going.
as long as the system keeps selling, then third party won't be able to keep denying it. But
We'll see.
it is what it is.
So you guys been playing Grim Dawn, huh? How's Grim Dawn?
That's pretty good. Well, it's all right. It's
Just all right.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. It's probably not as deep as Path of Exile, but I mean, it's better than Diablo 3.
It looks a lot like Path of Exile when I'm watching the gameplay here. Sort of.
It's really, really dumbed down to compare it to Path of Exile. Like, I think they're
Maybe I'll like it
vastly
then.
different.
Maybe I'll like it.
I mean,
then.
it's good. It's definitely good for like that D2 clone style game. But the actual classes are actually fairly interesting. The skills are interesting. There's not a lot of them. There's build variety. It does do a decent job because you get to choose 2 classes and you can make a character out of those 2 classes. But at the same time, it's still pretty limited.
Would you say Path of Exile is a better game?
I like Path of Exile better.
Yeah,
but
Path of Exile is definitely a more fleshed out ARPG than Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn is definitely like, if you like ARPGs and you've played a lot of Path of Exile and you've played Diablo 3 and you've also played a lot of Diablo 2, just basically ARPGs. If you really like ARPGs, pick it up. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good ARPG. It's not bad by any means. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's also definitely not the worst.
Yeah, but if you're interested in ARPGs and you've never played Path of Exile, just play Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Play Path of Exile until you're tired of it, and then pick up Grim Dawn, possibly, or Titan's Quest.
It looks.
I like some of the interactions in it are kind of cool though. Like, I mean, I don't know. In one of them, one of the characters I've been playing with Loco was a gunslinger, and that's kind of cool because they have like a ranged gun-based character, which most of them don't. That's actually interesting. So like, there are definitely some unique things it has going for it, but I mean, I don't know. It's fun. It's a good game, especially on like if you find it on sale for like $10, $15. It's worth it.
Yeah,
and it's even better to play with friends. Like if you want a game to play with friends, Grim Dawn's pretty cool.
One thing I don't like about Path of Exile is like you have to be super into the stats, like stat rolling and the trading system that they have in order to like really flesh out your dude. Now, does this have some sort of system like that, or is it really just about just grinding?
It's mainly about grinding.
It's an AARPG, dude. It's got stats and grinding.
Yeah,
like that is a downfall of a lot of action RPGs. Are you want this one specific item with these specific stats, and you gotta try to do that to like make the best character.
Yeah. But like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, Path of Exile has like that. I don't forget what it's called. I haven't played it in a while. But you have like all these different gem things, and
the skill gems.
The currency.
And there's
or the currency.
Yeah, and you use them as currency to like roll different gems, and then you have to re-roll your items to get the certain configurations to put your colored gems in. And
I don't know. That's something that I think is a lot of fun about Path of Exile. Actually, like, don't get me wrong, it is a lot more complex, and it adds a huge learning curve to the game. But I think it's actually kind of fun that way because there are times where it is too RNG based, definitely. But I think it's also kind of, I don't know, it adds its own different interesting layer for me. Especially like you can do things like solo self-found kind of like challenges in leagues where you can only use what you find yourself. And like the crafting in that to me is kind of cool where it's like, all right, you have an item that's almost like what you want. Technically, you can actually attempt to make it the item you need instead of just, well, back to grinding for another 20 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, but to answer your question, Wayne, no, it doesn't have elements like that, or not to that degree.
I was gonna say, do you miss it when you play it, or it's just a different kind of game?
I mean, they're pretty much all the same kind of game, to be honest with you, except the character creation and the character customization. That's usually the big changing point in these kind of games.
Even like the menu systems look the same.
Yeah,
Between
everything looks like Diablo 2 in the ARPG market. Like Diablo 2 is the Godfather. It's the mold. It's what you focus all these genre games around.
Yeah,
all the ARPG genre. It's like, how does this compare to Diablo 2? Because if you don't ask, as a developer, if you don't ask yourself that question, if you're like, oh, we want to be the unique butterfly and we want to do our own thing, the consumer is still going to ask, how does this compare to Diablo 2? Because it is like the definitive ARPG. But that being said, like I said, like this doesn't have, like Jerry said earlier, this game doesn't have as much of the depth as PoE. If you're really into meticulous like stat management and character planning and stuff like that, PoE is your shit. Yeah. Get on it. But if you want to experience an ARPG that's maybe not that heavy in that field, like Grim Dawn's really good. It has a really good dark tone like Diablo 2 did and the Diablo series did. Diablo 3 doesn't really feel like a dark tone anymore.
They're supposedly working on that with the Necromancer update, but we'll see.
But the Diablo 3 is like, I don't know, it's like what they did with Warcraft 3. They like really made it cartoony, which was kind of dumb. Diablo 2 was pretty brutal looking, and it was really visceral. Where Diablo 3, it felt really, like just the assets and everything looked really blocky and cartoon-like, and that's what drew me to Path of Exiles, because it brought back some of that visceral art to it. But then you get deep into it, and it's all about just like heavy stats, and I'm not interested in that because I don't have the time to do that stuff. I like to just kind of run through and make a cool dude, maybe mess around with some skills and stuff.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you can still play games like that, like ARPGs, you can still play them like that if you want to. You can, just go through, beat the campaign, beat the story mode, maybe get to max level, maybe not. Who cares?
What I was gonna say is, even with Path of Exile, I think sometimes also that game gets a lot like, okay, the idea that it's really complex and stat heavy, it can be. At the same time, as long as you make your character and as long as you have the correct resistances, you could make whatever the hell you want. It's not going to be optimal or whatever, but I mean, you can still use whatever you want and play however you want as long as you basically just hit the resistances.
That's skill tree.
If you're resistance capped, like, you can still make whatever kind of dumb character mess up you want. So have fun.
That skill tree that they have in that game is insane. I love it so much.
It's massive, man.
It's awesome. It's so cool, but it gets so deep. Like once you get into like end game stuff, it gets a little too much for me. I do like how they did like the like to do like the seasons and stuff. I thought that was cool too.
Well, what actually something I've thought about sometimes too when it comes to those kinds of games. Like looks wise, I mean, like how we're talking about, like, Diablo 2 is visceral. Yeah, the atmosphere and visceral. Part of me wonders too sometimes if it's just has a lot to do with graphic quality. Because it's just like, Grim Dawn, it's visceral. Path of Exile is visceral. Diablo 2, it's visceral, and they're all like, 32-bit graphics.
Well,
I'm almost wondering if that also plays into it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I also think they kind of left that with Diablo 3. They didn't bring... It just doesn't feel... It didn't look like Diablo 2, in my opinion. It was like how... Like StarCraft, the new StarCraft looked like the original StarCraft, just like an updated skin. They kept the same kind of look about it.
They definitely used a brighter palette and like main palette than they probably should have. But I'm almost wondering if, we did see a Diablo 4 or something like that. I think it could still update to maybe even those cartoonish graphics, and if they chose a better palette, I think it would still probably get those visceral feels. Because like sometimes, I don't know, Path of Exile, it's fun. It's not a dark game to me. Like I love it, but it does not give me a dark atmosphere. It just gives
Grim
me
Dawn does though.
Grim Dawn does a little bit, yeah.
But
Most of them to me, it's just more like, oh yay, it's Diablo 2, and the fact that it looks like Diablo 2.
I really do enjoy ARPGs, but to be honest with you, I'm just really waiting on two things. I'm waiting on the new PoE patch, the overhaul. I'm gonna check that out and play more PoE when that comes out, and I'm also waiting on the Diablo 2 remake.
And what about a new Baldur's Gate?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we're getting into isometric RPGs now, though.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the Path of Exile 3.0 because that's gonna be sick as hell.
I haven't looked into it. What are they updating?
They're finally releasing all of the planned acts. So when that game launched, it launched with 3 acts. Actually, it might have launched with 2. I think it actually launched with 2. It launched with 2, yeah.
Wait.
No, it launched with 2, and the plan was to always have 10 acts.
I think it launched with 3 acts.
I think it launched with 2 because I think 1.0 was 3 and then 2.0 was 4. I think it was 2. It could have been 3 though.
I'm not sure. I remember playing 3 acts though.
The point is 3.0 here is going to actually release those next 6 acts.
10 acts. Just think about that. There's only going to be 1 difficulty now, correct?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Well, yeah, with 10 fucking acts, I mean, you got to be cool with it.
That's crazy.
But they're also doing tons of quality of life changes to things like that. Big changes to game mechanics. There's not going to be
how long is that game?
Poison and stuff like that.
How long has that game been in development? It feels like it's been a while. I've been playing that game for a long time now.
I mean, it's technically full release. They're just always adding on to it. It's been out 4 years, I want to say.
That's it? It feels like it's been longer. Maybe
Might be 5, but I think it's 4.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But it's, I don't know, 3.0 for that's going to be really sick. And I want to try.
I love the guys who made that game. I think they're doing a great job.
They're cool, and I like the way they monetized it a lot.
Yeah, they monetize in an awesome way. They're just doing a really good job. It's a game that is a little bit too much for me at times. It just takes a lot of time, in my opinion. And so it's kind of hard for me to really get it. Like 10 acts, that's insane. That's crazy. But I'll probably jump into it again once they do that.
When 3.0 comes out, we all need to roll hardcore characters and see who dies first.
I'm so down with that. I'm down with that.
I'm actually good at that game, unlike Grim Dawn.
All right, let's talk about news. So
I was gonna say though, I want that D3 Necro. I want to play that. I want to try that.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so
that's it. News.
Mm-hmm. What's going on here? Oh, what the hell? Go ahead. Monster Hunter World targeting stable 30 frames per second, runs on Capcom's MT Framework engine. So, dude, you were pumped on Worlds, dude. Dude,
out. I'm still fucking pumped on Worlds. I don't give a fuck that it's running on 30 frames. It's been running on 30 frames since I can remember. That's mainly going to be on console, though, I imagine. But if it runs 30 frames on console, it just all depends on what the release schedule is. This will not change my... I really want to buy it on PC, but if it comes out a lot earlier on console, like it probably will, I'll probably buy them on both, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's from what I was reading too. The reason they called it Monster Hunter World and not Monster Hunter 5 is it's going to be global servers, and they're aiming for a worldwide release.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited for that. Like, I'm really hoping I'm getting on PS4. I hope some of you guys at least do because I want to co-op that game.
Well, if it releases a lot earlier, if it releases like more than a month earlier on PS4, yeah,
I got a feeling it's going to be at least half a year before it sees PC.
I don't know. We'll see. The thing that stands out for me though for that is stable. If it runs stable at 30, I'm okay with it running at 30 as long as it actually is really fucking stable.
That's what they're saying.
I prefer 60, obviously, but as long as it's at least stable on 30. I can live with it, I guess.
And 4K, obviously, it has to be in 4K. If it's not in 4K, I'm not even gonna.
Don't bring that trash to my yard if it ain't 4K.
I'm not even gonna fucking look at it.
I won't even wipe my ass with the game manual.
That's cool though. Maybe if they were using like a new engine, like the Decima engine or the Frostbite engine, they'd be able to hit that 60. But hey, Capcom, keep working at it, dudes. You guys are doing good.
They're moving in the right direction. We're actually on HD consoles now instead of fucking handhelds.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. You got that Capcom versus Marvel looking pretty good.
Chun-Li's eyebrows looking real good.
Dude, I watched Max play some of that, and it actually didn't look bad.
It looks
gameplay-wise, it looks
fun.
But
yeah, it looks fun. It's just the graphics of it are just like, I don't know, that entire release, that show, just like that's Gamora. It looks like it looks like a green turd. That's not Gamora.
Let's be honest, man. When Dragon Ball FighterZ got announced, it blew all the hype from Marvel away.
I don't know, dude. It looks good again. But it's another DBZ game, which is cool, I guess. But
yeah, but it's 2D, which that's new for a DBZ fighter, and it's 3v3,
Gear, dude. It's Guilty Gear.
It's made by Arc Systems.
And it's Arc Systems.
Yeah,
so it's going to be deep.
That gets me pumped. It's just more like, all right, I'm good. I'm done. Like we have enough fighting games. I'm good.
We got some more fighting game hype news coming in. Though. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Pucken, Tekken 8. Sorry, dude. I'm done.
You say Pucken? What is Pucken?
Pokemon.
Pucken.
Yeah. You know what, dude? I'm waiting for my Digimon fighter now. Like,
yo, when is the Beyblade fighter?
Yeah, can I get my Yu-Gi-Oh fighter next? It's not even cards anymore. It's just Yugi just beating the shit out of Kaiba or whatever his name is.
Beyblade tournament coming soon. You know what I'm saying?
Fidget spinner fighter tournament.
I think that was called Beyblades.
Yeah. The OG,
no, dude,
OG fidget spinners.
I will say,
Beyblades.
I think Beyblade was a cooler, like,
get the fuck out of here.
I thought that was a cooler thing, like an actual toy, than the Pokemon cards were. Like the actual, like, you ripped it and they would fight each other in like a little Beyblade ring. That's way cooler than fucking stupid ass Pokemon cards. Those things were
Doobie's
so dumb.
been playing with Beyblades for years now.
Are you a Beyblade master, dude?
No, they're called dreidels.
Yo, I got the
It was
OG
nice knowing all
fidget
of you.
spinner in the dreidel, bud.
Yeah, it's nice knowing all of you. I don't think I can talk to Wayne ever again if he thinks Beyblades are cooler.
They were much cooler than Pokemon cards. I hated Pokemon cards. Let's move on before we get emails.
Can y'all hear that cat meowing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your cat?
No, it's a cat outside.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Poor Kiki.
Is he dying?
Kiki, go home.
Is he getting, like, beat?
No, it's just fucking meowing.
He wants some milk or some shit? All right, let's move on. .hack GU HD remaster revealed for PC and PS4. I don't know what this is. I looked at this. I have no fucking clue what this is. What is this?
So
it's old weeb shit.
Yeah, it's weeb shit. That's why I'm interested in it. So the .hack games were originally made. There was a first set of 4 on PS2. And then they made the .hack GU games, which were like sequels set later. They're really fun. The style of game.
They weren't bad. They were fun.
CyberConnect 2, the team that was actually working on the Final Fantasy VII remake before Square Enix took them off of that. This is what they made before that. This is what they're kind of like best known for. They're played like MMOs. The whole setting is inside of like an MMO.
But it's a single player JRPG.
Yep, and they're really fun if you like that kind of style of gaming. They're very Japanese, very weeb.
Have you ever wanted to play an MMO but you fucking hate people?
That's what I like.
It made me think of God, what's that shitty anime series?
Sword Art
Online.
Yeah.
God, that show was awful.
Yeah.
They made a show
it's like
called
if you
Sword
wanna-
Art Online.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
You've never heard of this?
Yeah, that's right. Wayne
Well,
is in no sense a weeb. He doesn't
Yeah.
even know about
No,
these
dude,
weeb things.
this was an anime that like the first 6 episodes were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then every episode after that was a steaming pile of dog shit.
That sounds like
it was
every-
so good.
It sounds like every anime I've ever heard of my life.
Watch One Punch Man.
Oh, One
yeah?
Punch Man is fantastic.
Dude, watch Food Wars.
I'm a big. I've seen Food Wars.
Food Wars is good. As
I like
fuck.
Some of the
Food Wars.
best gifs on the internet are from Food
Watch
Wars.
Fooly Cooley.
I like.
Dude, yeah, watch Fully Cooley.
I've seen
Yeah.
Fooly Cooley as well. I liked Food Wars until it got like kind of weird, like hentai style, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on
Oh,
in this
dude,
show?"
that's why it's great, dude.
But I also, I'm a big
guy who
Golden
made
Boy
it-
fan.
all right, the guy who made that show, what used to be an hentai artist.
Yeah,
That was his career.
that's what I
And
heard.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they wanted him to actually make like a show. So he's like,
Well,
all right.
you know
Just
the
don't-
anime. You know the anime is not worth watching if you can watch it with people besides yourself. if you're not embarrassed enough to watch it with somebody else, then it's not worth watching.
Dude, it's all about that hentai with the boys.
Oh, ew! What? That is not. That is not what it's about.
Hentai with the boys.
Yeah, I was about to say he was referring to the cold
a-
one with the boys meme, but
Yeah.
that didn't come out right.
No, it's a joke from we hanged out with our friends and watched Monster Me Monster Girls.
I
That
lost.
was a weird show.
I got out of the anime scene like after the Chobits Death Note era. Then I was kind of not interested in what was going on. But
It was a good time.
yeah, the Food Wars I started to watch, and that was pretty much the last one I was into.
It's actually pretty accurate too. To believe it or not, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty accurate to like cooking.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
no,
liked
like-
it, but except
yeah,
all
it's
the
good.
weird hentai shit, and then I was like, "What is
Yeah,
this
edgy.
show? This is so weird."
Every time somebody takes a bite of something, they instantly get buck ass naked.
Yeah.
That's not which of the anime series that has like the whole gif with like the carrot? No, the carrot was the carrot. No, the potato peeling itself.
Oh yeah,
Have
yeah.
you seen that gif?
Just wanna
Is there any?
make some little food and just
Ew! Stop it. Is there any good animes that I can watch on Netflix? Because I'm not buying no
Oh.
fucking Crunchyroll account. You got to be out of your mind if
All
I'm
right,
buying.
let me
Dude,
look
I
on-
will. Hey, you
Oh,
shut the fuck
Gurren-
up. Crunchyroll is
Gurren
awesome.
Lagann.
Please sponsor
Gurren-
us.
Gurren Lagann
Yeah.
is a really good anime.
What is it
Yeah,
called?
Ting and Top and Gurren Lagann.
Yep.
All right, I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's really it's two arcs. They're really good. The jokes is just that like their characters are just super over the top, but it's really enjoyable.
I like slice of life stuff too, which
Well,
I'm into.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hold on one second. I'm looking at Netflix right now. I'm just gonna do the quick and dirty on that ad.
Is Love Live on Netflix?
No, I don't think so. No.
Quick and dirty.
One Punch Man, really good. Attack on Titan, you'll probably like it. It's all right.
I've seen a little bit of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
A little bit bored. I like the art of it. It is a gorgeous show, but lost interest in that one. One Punch Man I've never seen.
I would tell you to watch Kill la Kill, but it's gonna make you uncomfortable because it's
No,
got a
just
lot of
watch Gurren- if
scantily
you're gonna
clad
watch
women.
Anything from that company, don't watch Kill la Kill. Watch Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann is also on Netflix. It's really good.
Oh, I'll check that one out. Okay. Anything else?
I'm looking.
Anything else? Like I said, Golden Boy
There's
was
a
my
few-
was my
There's
favorite
a few
anime.
Netflix original animes on there too that aren't too bad. I think Knights of Sedona is pretty good.
Oh, really? They
Rah,
have-
rah, rah.
They're doing
Rah, rah, rah.
original anime now.
They have like Netflix original anime.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, if you want to see some really good looking stuff like action anime, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works is on
That whole
Netflix.
franchise, I have a lot of friends that are diehard fans.
Yeah, Ufotable.
I like the futurism stuff too. I think that stuff's cool. Like
Mech stuff, you'll like Gurren Lagann then.
yeah, that sounds up my alley. Akira was like, obviously everyone loves Akira.
Yeah.
All
Have you
right.
ever seen Jinro Wolf Brigade? It's a movie.
No, the only like anime movies I've seen is like Perfect Blue, which I think is like the best. Besides,
sounds pretty decent.
yeah,
Go ahead and watch the Evangelion rebuilds.
Ugh.
I don't really like Evangelion.
Oh,
The
you
rebuilds
don't?
they're beautifully animation, and they change the story up to the point where it makes no sense.
I don't like how some of the anime is just so over the top weird. Like, not in themes. Like, I don't mind weird themes, but like the way they talk is just so weird. It's like why are you just like screaming? You're just sitting there. It doesn't make any.
I don't know what anime you're watching.
All of them. They all do that.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm not gonna lie, they sound pretty weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you like slice of life though, it's not on Netflix, but you can watch it on any like free anime streaming thing. There's this anime called Toradora.
Yo. Yeah. No. Watch Toradora.
All right, I'll check that out.
No,
Is it like some clickbait hentai shit I'm about to get
No.
into? You're lying to me.
Dude.
No, dude, it's got feels. It's like
dude.
it's
You
like
could
anime
cry.
for us emo people, dude.
All right, I'm into it. I'm into that.
It's a rom com.
Dude, yeah, it
I'll
is.
give
No
it is.
joke.
But
I'll give you one last.
Taiga waifu, best waifu.
Yep.
I'm
Taiga
into that.
best waifu.
One last recommendation. You can watch it on Crunchyroll for free. At least I've been able to. Dragon Ball Super.
Dragon Ball Super.
The beginning of it was kind of weak with the animation, but it's certainly picked up in the last like 50 episodes.
Okay.
Or you can be a man and watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yo, okay, yeah, that's a good one too. If you like weird.
All right. Let's move
All
on.
right. Yeah.
Fucking weebs.
Just
Fucking
go watch Toradora.
we just turned it into the Weeb cast.
Weebcast.
Hey man, no life, really.
Pokemon Go's huge multiplayer update is the game's next evolution. I haven't read this story. What's going on here?
They added
Well-
gym battles and raid battles.
They also added Crunchyroll into Pokemon Go, so while you're going and catching Pokemon, you're watching anime at the same time.
Are you
Doubt
fucking
that.
lying to me, Gary?
No, I'm lying, guess.
They announced it like a Pokemon Go event in Chicago, and tickets sold out in 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, man.
Apparently,
basic-
Pokemon Go is still popular. I didn't know.
Basically, it's like it's a big update. They changed gyms, so they I don't know, they're easier to actually interact with, especially if you're under leveled, because they added like this motivation style system. So even if you don't, they finally basically made it so that if you don't beat the entire gym, you're at least doing something to
Yeah.
like take down the levels of the characters in it and stuff like that. I don't know. They basically added a bunch of things people have been asking for since the game came out.
It might be a little too late.
Unfortunately, there's still no like, you can't still 1v1 someone on the street.
Do you guys have Pokemon
Things like that.
installed on your phone?
I still do actually.
Really?
I never play
think
it,
it's
but I still do.
installed. Yeah, I think it's installed, but I do not play it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Moving on. This is big news. Killer Instinct coming to Steam, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Killer Instinct. My God.
That's what I was talking about. This shit is hype as fuck, and it's bad news for Xbox.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
this is
I know
cool.
it's all Microsoft, but I mean, that
Well-
was.
You think it'll have crossplay? It might have crossplay.
I mean, who cares? Who's gonna buy an Xbox One to play Killer Instinct now?
And they gave me a fight stick.
I'm just telling you, man. Like that, it's really big news. That is really big news, and I'm really glad, and I'm gonna buy it. I'm definitely gonna buy it.
Yeah, me too. I love Killer Instinct. That game is so good. So that's cool. Moving on. Resident Evil 2 remake coming soon.
It's possible.
The best Resident Evil, maybe.
I've been hearing this rumor for a while now.
Do you guys think
Yeah.
it's the best one?
RE2? That's my favorite.
Out
Me
of the old school games, yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, one was a classic, but two was like
It's so
everything
much.
was just refined and
Yes.
it was really good.
Yes.
And three was stupid.
yes.
Code Veronica was stupid,
Mhm.
No.
I remembered playing
I-
Code Veronica X on the Dreamcast.
and it was stupid.
I-
and you were
It
like,
was
man, I
pretty
wish this
dumb.
was. I wish this was just Resident Evil 2 again.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 is just so much tighter. It was such a
I mean,
tighter.
You can't go wrong with
Refined game.
Leon.
But the new age, out of the new age Resident Evils, I think 4 was the best.
Yeah.
Or
Really?
on the GameCube.
Yeah, it was great. It looked great too.
I still have fond memories of 4. Actually, just because I think when that game came out, I remember me and my friends, we went and bought it and had a LAN party, and we ended up playing it at like 4 a.m. in a fucking basement in a thunderstorm, and that was like, oh, now I get it. Now I'm getting the spooks.
Yeah.
Do you remember like your first interaction with the Resident Evil series?
Yeah, it was when you
Yeah.
walked in and the fucking zombie was just like.
Like the first time
I was like,
you played
whoa!
or saw it being played. I remember RE2 was the first one.
I played-
didn't get into RE1.
The first time I
remember the
played it,
pyramid.
the
I
first
remember the fucking pyramid.
the first time I played it, it was on a demo disc, and it was just the first scene of the first little area in Resident Evil 1, and the zombies, and then I remember being like, "What? Why can't I like move the way I normally move in video games?"
Tank
Fucking
controls,
tank
man.
controls, man.
It was so
Oh,
tough. But I love the
PS1
game.
tank controls.
That was
First
one of my
time-
favorite games.
First thing I played was the first Resident Evil when it was greatest hits by then. But yeah, when I got my PlayStation, I was like, "Oh, this looks good."
I remember playing RE2. I remember the first time a liquor came out, and it was just like, that was one of the most profound like experiences playing a video game. Because
Well-
I was like 11 at the time.
Well, how about
And then-
in the first one
so
where
good.
where you're walking down that hallway and the dogs crash through the windows? That's
Yep.
spooky shit, dude. I was spooked for mad long, dog. Spooked.
Oh,
So
The dogs made you spook, dog.
yeah, no, they fucking spooked shit. It was like, and I remember like throwing the controller, which mind you had no analog sticks on it at the time. There was just a D-pad, and we had memory cards that were like at a whopping 2 megabytes on the memory card. What? Can you believe
So-
that?
who else didn't have a memory card when they first got a PlayStation?
Yeah, and you had to leave
Yep.
it on, right? You had
Yeah,
to press start,
yep.
leave it on, turn the TV off so your parents didn't think
Yep.
you were wasting electricity.
Yeah.
Times was rough, man. And then the memory cards came out. I remember this kid across the street who used to steal video games from all the time.
Nice.
He brought his memory card over, and
Dumbass.
I don't know what happened to it, man. I don't know. And then I could finally save my games. And then,
Still got my memory card right here.
Holy shit.
how do you still have that?
Because I have a PlayStation 2.
That's crazy.
And I still have PS1 games.
Oh, I do have a PlayStation 2. I probably do have a memory
I've
card
got,
just like
like-
in the other room.
I've got 2
crazy.
PS2
Yeah, I
memory
guess I
cards
still
and
have,
a
like,
couple
3.
PS1s.
How do you still have a PS2? That's nuts. I would love to
Dude,
get one
I
of
miss
those.
my PS2.
I would
still
love a
got
PS1.
PS2 games right over here, man.
Do you play it?
No, I need to hook
I
it up
do.
and play. I have Silent Hill 2 on PS2. I need to play that.
Ah,
Zone of the Enders.
Yes. All right.
Oh, God,
You're
Jerry's
next,
like-
man.
Jerry's bringing out of people can't see it yet, but he's bringing over like some dust encrusted fucking N64. I think.
The stack.
There you go.
Stack.
Yo, that's is that Star Fox 64 in there?
Oh, that's Star Fox 64.
Oh
nice.
man,
The
I'm
only
actually picking up some N64 games soon. My mom's coworker is moving to like North Carolina, and she's just selling stuff. So she's selling us like 10 games for like $300.
she should just
when
give
they
it to
sell
you.
for like 800.
She should just give it to you at that point.
Nah, just gotta help her out, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, she's probably one of those that she asked Doobie how much it was worth, and he was like,
Oh, I'll give you 10
3
bucks.
cents.
I'll give you
Dude,
10
they're-
bucks.
they're
3
all-
schmeckles.
No, hold on. They're all. I don't even know what Schmeck is. They're all in original box with manuals.
Oh wow.
There you go.
Are you gonna eBay it?
Well, I'm keeping some of them, but I might eBay some of the other ones.
Yeah, I would. All right.
Like I'm keeping Smash Brothers.
I don't even think I would be able to hook up those old systems unless it was through the coaxial, and then you had to turn it on channel 3 and then put it on channel 3. That'd be the only way, because
"Do you
I don't-
have AV cables on
I
your
was gonna
TV?"
say, yeah.
I don't think I do. I think it's
Exactly.
You can
HDMI.
well no, you just get you can get a converter. You can get a HDMI to aux for like $3.
Are we getting to the point where like the South Park episode where Cartman goes forward into time, gets the Wii, and has no way to hook it up?
just.
That's where we're going.
No, all I'm saying is Amazon Prime is your friend in these trying times of I need this weird adapter for $3. Cool, I got it the same day.
You were right.
And
You were right
Prime
about
shipping.
that. Yeah. All right. Devolver loses $100,000 on banned E3 festival. What?
ESA, man. The
They-
ESA charges a shit ton of money for companies to have space at E3. It's one of the reasons why Sony's trying to get out of E3.
Really?
They don't want to pay the money.
they're
They
gonna
have their own conference.
Sony wants to get out of E3?
You saw if you saw their presentation, how they didn't have any release dates. They only showed a handful of games. Don't get me wrong, I liked their E3, presentation where they just went game after game. But the fact of the matter is, ESA charges a crap ton of money to rent space. And two, Sony has their own huge conference, the PlayStation Experience, in December, where they're going to be doing a lot more than they did at E3. And the only reason they're still there is because Microsoft's there. You're not going to let Microsoft have E3 to itself. You can't do that in marketing. But the ESA charges a shit ton of money for these companies. That's why EA doesn't do E3. The EA Play is not actually part of E3 because they're not going to pay ESA the money they want.
So what happened was it looks like Devolver had their show across the street at some other place. And the ESA? They were claiming since they showed at E3 that they can take the money, even though they can't take revenue off of sales from an offsite location. So that's why Devolver's pissed. Devolver, by the way, had a wonderful conference. It was awesome. It
wasn't a conference. It wasn't a conference.
Or whatever.
Yeah, it was great.
Whatever it was. Whatever you call
the thing is, it wasn't at E3. It wasn't part of E3. It was shown on a Twitch stream, but it wasn't an official part of E3.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they think they're entitled to some of their profits.
I guess because
it's because they had it at an actual place across the street instead of the Hooters across the street. Not kidding. Because they used to have their mini party conference at the fucking Hooters.
Damn, man, that doesn't sound too American though. What's more American than like fucking having your conference at Hooters?
This is Wilson alleges that the ESA, which has a long-standing relationship with the city, is behind the permit denial. E3 does not like us being here. We've always had a long-standing love-hate relationship, but not in a fuck with us kind of way until this year. They just started making trouble for us with the city, saying, how dare you rent this space out to those renegades, blah, blah, blah. So they tried to rent it and they got denied that permit, which is fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Yeah, well, honestly, E3, if you're a developer, it's probably super expensive to go to E3. So why, like, you don't really need to have a booth there. E3 being a public showing, they're not selling anything, they're just promoting their stuff.
E3 used to be a huge thing before live streaming was a thing, and it was developers when it was, showing this, because the public wasn't there. They didn't have access to
this
that.
This is the first year.
Yeah, this is, and from all the stories I've read, it was handled really badly.
With the public?
Huge lines that nobody was enforcing. Like, people were cutting in lines and people were waiting long hours to play games.
I mean, there was that huge Reddit post about two guys who just put on waiters' uniforms and walked into E3.
Yeah. It was really poorly handled this year, being open to the public for the first time.
It used to be open to the public.
It was?
Well, I'm saying, like, a long time ago, it used to be, like, mainly a developer conference where it was a lot of business-to-business stuff. Like, the gamer, the consumer didn't see the news until they read it in the gaming magazines, into the publications. The live streaming of Twitch has changed, and, like, not just Twitch, but, like, YouTube and all the other live streams has changed that.
Yeah. Well, even just YouTube in general, the only reason you would watch it live is to catch the conference, because what are you gonna follow someone around live? I didn't watch most of the E3 coverage after the conferences live, so it's basically just a promotion thing, but that you can get into. So if you're a developer like Devolver, like what they did, you just make a video and you can put it out during E3 and it'll get coverage, the same amount of coverage, and you won't have to pay for it.
Look at Nintendo, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sony, based on what they did this year, if they do that next year, they don't have to pay ESA the money for the conference room to have a live presentation. They just put out their 25-minute video that they make on their own time, their own money. That's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than renting a space. Everyone watches it on their computer, and then they have their whole treehouse thing, which is pretty much just their booths that they're filming from. Sony, they had the president come out twice to talk. They could have easily had just put out a video showing all those trailers and saved the money by not even having people go into an auditorium to watch essentially what was just one giant video.
Yeah. Yeah, I think E3 is while I love the event around it because people get excited around E3 time. Opening it to the public, you can only expect long lines. I don't know what people were expecting going there. Of course, it's going to be long lines.
It was just the fact that like there was really very little control.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading a story about people who were waiting in line to play the Super Mario Odyssey, and they counted the people in front of them. They counted 12, and like 30 minutes go by, and they count the people in front of them, and now it's 14 because people were just cutting in. There were no designated lines. I mean, I don't know if you blame Nintendo for that. I don't know if you blame the organizers because there just seemed to be not enough volunteer staff on hand.
Yeah. Now you would blame the E3. They would have to hire security to make sure everything runs smoothly. If there's not enough security, that's a problem. So that's a expo thing. Let's move on. That sucks. But who cares? Devolver, I think they had one of the most impressive shows technically during E3. It was really cool. Plus, I'm excited for a lot of their shit. Now let's move on to this big story. Now, during During E3, oh my god. Sorry. During E3, once the last night, which is that awesome cyberpunk pixel 3D side-scrolling art installment sort of game, it's winning best of show in a lot of places. It looks awesome. People are really excited about it. People have been digging a little bit. It popped up on Steam, so you can pre-order it, and then you can read about the game's description. The director Tim saw it. The headline reads, "Last night's devs' anti-feminist tweets come back to haunt him." And this has been a top story around the gaming world, really tainting the hype around the last night. Not just tainting it, but also hyping it up even more than what it is because of all this controversy. So I'm gonna try to find the exact description of what the developer says this game is, because it's interesting to say the least.
I mean, it kind of sucks because the game looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and a lot of people are upset that it's tainting it.
To be honest with you, I think any press is good press. So
yeah, I agree.
think this will just generate more awareness for the game.
I completely agree. Any press is good press. Give me 1 second. He might have actually changed it as well. I think I read somewhere that they changed it, the description of the game. The last night is what we call, and if you can see down in the video feed right there, that's not a video. That's actually GIFs of the gameplay. So as you can see, it's an amazing looking game, and they even took time to make the Steam page look good. Last night is what we call post-cyberpunk. It's not the kind of dystopia the genre is famous for. Rather, it depicts an alternate direction for society, one where the fight for survival doesn't mean food and water, but a purpose for living. Human labor and creativity has been rendered obsolete by AI, so people are now defining themselves by what they consume, not what they create. So they did change it, because what it used to say was like, this is what happens when feminism wins. The game is set around that type of world, and I can't really find the original thing about it. Let me see if I can find a story on it. But anyways, people were upset by this, given the political climate. It's understandable. I want to ask you guys this. Do you think they wrote that knowing that it was going to get controversy and they were going to capitalize on it? If you make a game based around that, then you obviously know the politics around that subject. So you can't he can't play ignorant and say, "Oh, I didn't know it was going to get all this bad press." He obviously knew it was going to get bad press, I think.
Yeah. If you make a game and your setting of your game is obviously about or what you want it to be. You want it to be this story about modern feminism ruining the world, which I think, that's a stretch of a plot right there. But anyway, I think if you make your game about that, you should probably not fucking tell anybody. You should probably just keep that shit to yourself.
One tweet that I'm going to show here is by the developer Tim Sorit, and he says, someone writes, "How can someone sane even say they are anti-feminism?" This is a tweet. They can only stem This can only stem from misunderstanding feminism in the first place, or idiocy. And then Tim Sword says, I don't agree. I'm against feminism because it's getting more and more skewed. I am for egalitarianism. I don't care, boy, girl, alien. So he has like these very stark views on politics and social norms. Oh, here's the original, I think. Give me 1 second. Humans first knew the end of survival when they knew the era of work. Machines have surpassed human labor, not only in strength, precision. The last night immerses you in the everyday life of Charlie, second-class citizen living in a city brimming with augmentation, and citizen living in a gamified existence, none of which Charlie can experience himself due to a childhood accident, apathetic and disheartened by the seemingly pointless. Oh, that doesn't say it. I can't find it.
Man, I knew there was a reason that Shindo really wanted to play this game.
He's come out and apologized since then. We have a video of that.
An apology video?
So I guess it was in his tweet that he said, our game The Last Night will take place in a cyberpunk world where modern feminism won instead of egalitarianism. Hashtag Gamergate. Come on, dude. So he knows.
I think weren't the original comments back in 2014 I'm reading?
Yeah. Yep, they were quite a long time ago. I guess they don't have the video on this website. But there is
nothing you put on the internet is safe, you know. Like, it doesn't matter how far back you posted it, somebody will find it.
I want to think that it's all just for show. Like, it's not, he doesn't feel either way. You know what I mean? A lot of this is just identity politics, and I think it's all for show to drive hype for his game even more. Just even the talking about it kind of coincides with the game's themes. You know what I mean? It kind of runs in line with the game's feeling and the theme of the game. So I think he's doing a good job in that sense in marketing the game. It looks great. I'm still going to play it. I'm sure millions of others are still going to play it. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, I understand. Like, feminism at its core is a good thing. It's a really good thing, and it's a very valid. But I mean, I guess I can see what he means by modern feminism. I guess I don't know.
Well, I think it's
because the word means too many fucking things now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's too broad of a term to really just like throw it all under this one umbrella and be like,
yeah, I agree.
This stands for everything. It doesn't really stand for everything anymore.
No,
I mean, you
the
got
base definition. Feminism means it's equality, which is a great thing. It's what should be the thing.
Yeah.
But it's used for anything.
Yeah. And I also think that the way he's like his view, it's his view of what feminism is. You know what I mean? And if you're someone who, you know, not trying to detract away from anyone's political views, but if you're someone who's constantly reading the type of news that comes from anti-feminism, that type of culture, you're seeing things differently than many others. So with that said, it all kind of coincides with this game. I really think this is all just for play, just for show. Yeah. I really don't think.
I think the exact same thing that he probably said it back then. It says that it was going on during Gamergate, so it might have been one of those things where he just said it back then because he was a little bit heated, maybe. But the only reason it's being generated right now and he didn't already take care of this was because it's going to generate some traction. More people are going to know what Last Night is. Pretty much it.
Here's his statement. We at Raw Fury believe in equality, believe in feminism, and believe everyone has a right chance to the pursuit of equal pursuit of happiness. We will not be working with Tim Sword, Oddtails at all if we believe they were against these principles in any aspect. This is Raw Fury saying this. The comments Tim made were in 2014 and certainly surprising and don't fit the person we know, and we hope that everyone reading this knows us at Raw Fury on a personal and professional level, knows that we wouldn't tolerate working with someone who portrays the character of Tim going around the internet right now. The wording of his statements toward feminism in 2014 was poor, and his buying into Gamergate as a movement on the notion that it represented gamers against journalists was naive. But in the same year, he also cheered the rise of women in gaming, and then blah blah blah. So they're definitely retracting because they got a little bit of pushback, but
They're definitely backpedaling quite quickly.
yeah. As soon as money comes into play, and that's obviously gonna happen. But it looks so good. The game looks so fucking gorgeous, man.
Yeah, it really does. I really do want to play it with the whole 2.5D and pixel art and whole setting. Looks like Blade Runner. It looks really good.
I hope it's not some like circle jerk politic fuck fest and it detracts away from the game. Like I hope the game is good and it's they're not trying to like politicize it. But from the art alone, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. Now on to the big topic of the big topic in the gaming world, man. Grand Theft Auto Open 4 mods shut down. They got sued, man. They got sued.
Did they get sued or did they just get issued a cease and desist?
Well, I think they got issued this cease and desist because they didn't want to get sued. I think maybe that's what was going down. Take-Two's lawyers have allegedly shut down Open 4, so the lawyers themselves shut it down. It was definitely like a fight. It wasn't like they did it willingly. They didn't want to.
I think this is a terrible thing. I think this is so bad. Bad for modders and bad for Rockstar and Take-Two. I don't understand.
Look at their Steam page. Overwhelmingly negative reviews recently.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that.
It's fucking crazy. It's just crazy, man. I don't understand why you would do that. I mean, I understand they say that people were cheating in GTA Online, but to be honest with you, like I said pre-show, cheaters are going to find a way to cheat. You're not going to stop that. All you're stopping by stopping this modding software is people getting more value out of your game. Like, imagine if no mods were available ever for Grand Theft Auto and there was no RP server. You know,
I don't mind them going after the cheating mods, but it almost seems like they're lumping all the mods together. Which there's so many great single player mods for that game that have made that. And I'm also like kind of hesitant. They did the whole people who were trying to mod in Red Dead Redemption into GTA 5, and they shut that down real hard.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that. The you say cheating mods, but I think I should clarify that I don't like online cheating mods, like griefing mods, stuff like that, where you grief other players or you cheat online. Yeah, I don't like that. But if you want to cheat, if you want to cheat in your single player experience, fuck, who cares? You know, I mean you paid for the game.
This game
always hurt anybody.
The game always had cheat codes.
Yeah,
from the start.
But
and don't worry, online there will always be another racing gaming chair. There will always be a new gaming headset. There will always be whatever your fucking cheating meme is.
I think that I want to try and understand why they went after it so hard. I don't know what they could possibly gain from doing this. The mods is what's like gave the game longevity till this day. There were GIFs constantly posted of people fucking around on these mods.
It's one of the reasons why it's always in the top selling games every month, because it's such a modding game that anybody can get into it. And you're not just getting that Grand Theft Auto 5 experience, you're getting so much more.
Like just imagine like when popularity, like I was going to say started to dip, but it really didn't start to dip, but it started to go down a little bit. And then you had major streamers on Twitch starting to play this RP server. Yeah. And then everybody just started buying it again. You know, I mean, it's stupid because it really affects your longevity being able to do, because who would have bought Skyrim 12 times by now?
Yeah.
If they didn't allow mods, you know what I mean? The base game is a good game, but you can't play it for that long.
Well, the thing is with a lot of the past kind of things where this has happened, like example, Blizzard's done it before of taking out communities like this and stuff like that. The biggest counter argument is they gotta protect their IP. So if there is something going on that is infringing on their IP, they basically have to do it out of principle. So for future cases, basically.
I think this has more to do with the fact that they have an online currency in GTA Online. Was it Shark Butts or Shark Bucks?
Shark Butts.
Shark Butts.
Mr. Nice Shark Butt.
Shark Bucks or something like that.
Butts.
But yeah, I think they have like online currency, so it's probably some kind of issue with them thinking that people are modding in to get free currency or something like that.
Well, this
I don't know. That
this
sounds
is-
stupid to me.
could
This
be-
has
I
been
don't know,
going
it could
on
be a
for
thing.
about like 10 years. So it's
Yeah.
not like they just
Yeah.
picked it up
Like
to
when they
fight
were
them.
when people were trying to make mods for GTA 4, they were giving them issues.
Yeah, so it's there's something there that they're trying to do something. Maybe that they want to monetize the mods or something. So they have to shut this shit down now. That way when the next one comes out, they can have their fucking mod store and now you can buy mods and you know, they get a little kickback from that. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, you mean what Bethesda's trying to do?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, okay. All
hey,
of Bethesda's mods are coming directly from Bethesda. They're gonna. It's DLC content.
And you can
Yeah.
pay with shark butts.
God damn it! I hate all of it.
Fuck you.
But yeah, no, it's like
Left
that would
shark butts.
that would be my biggest thinking is I could see them kind of doing a mod store, but I doubt it. I mean, it could happen. I don't know though. What I think it comes down to IP because like kind of what Loco you were saying, like if they do offer, you know, special content that you have to buy with real money, like say there's some fancy outfit that you can only get it by buying it, and then the second someone mods in basically that same outfit that you can now get for free online and show off, that's where it starts becoming an issue for them.
I hope this doesn't make them not want to make like Rockstar games for PC, because it's not going to stop. People are still going to make mods. You're still going to be able to download them and play them. It just sucks for open
I mean,
4.
is
It'd
Red
be
Dead
really-
2 confirmed for PC yet?
Yeah. Yep. It would be really stupid to stop making game for PC, considering how much more money they've made just by offering it. It would be pretty dumb to make less money.
Yeah, but it's also pretty dumb to kill with one of the biggest mods for your fucking game.
Yeah, one of the biggest modding tools available for your game. Yeah.
They all use the open 4 mod system, basically for the GTA 4. I don't know about GTA 5. I don't know if there's a new one out, or I'm pretty sure.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
There was actually a guy in the, you should probably ask, there in the No Life channel in the DOD Discord. There's actually a GTA modder in there that was talking about. I was talking about it a little bit with him.
Oh, yeah?
When it happened, and yeah, I forget his name. I forget who it was.
What'd he say?
He was just talking about having issues and troubles trying to mod, and he was thinking that maybe he could start the game offline and be able to mod, but he can't. So
Yeah,
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid, and I don't find any point in it. No rational point. I don't care if it's microtransactions involved or anything like that, because you're messing with the longevity of your game, and it just does not make sense. Because somebody would make the next DayZ mod for your game, and everybody would just, because who the fuck played Arma 2 before DayZ? You know what I mean? I mean, there were some people that played it for the actual game, but as soon as DayZ came out, people were buying that game like fucking hotcakes, man. It was everywhere. It was a fucking fire sale. Everybody was just buying that game just to play the mod. Hey, what about Counter-Strike?
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just, it seems really stupid to gimp your community by not allowing mods.
And I want to bring that up. That's our last topic. It's about, how much the modding community affects the core game community. Because in my opinion, the modding aspect of it is a niche side of it. But one thing we saw in these upcoming years is the easier transition to getting mods on your games. Because back in the day, it was difficult to mod your game. You had to know how to do it. But now there's like all kinds of systems. You just download the mod, it goes right into your game. You can fire it right up.
Yeah, there's a Steam Workshop. There's Nexus mods, the whole website
Shout
that
out
just
Nexus.
gives you one. Yep.
Mhm. That's what I'm pissed about Bethesda is like, dude, there's just the Nexus. Just use the Nexus.
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to money. There's some kind of monetary gain from doing this.
Yeah,
but I think it really does hurt the core game community, because some games suck when they first come out until someone mods it, and then it's great.
What I was trying to say is I think it's a negative. I think that it's not a good thing, but I think that's the only rational thing I can think of is there is some level somewhere. It's probably really dumb and stupid of IP they had to protect. for like a future and for the future as well.
Open 4 teams say they received a cease and desist letter saying that with the tool, they allow third parties to defeat security features of its software and modify that software in violation Take-Two's rights. And then they will not fight this. They explain, yes, we can go to court and yet again prove that modding is fair use and our actions are legal. Yes, we could, but we decided not to. Going to court will take at least a few months of our time and a huge amount of efforts, and at best, we'll get absolutely nothing. Spending time just to restore status quo is really unproductive, and all the money in the world can't compensate the lost time. So we decided to agree with their claims and stopping distribution of Open 4. It was a hard decision, but when any modding activity has declared illegal, we can't see any possibilities to continue this process unless top management of Take-Two companies makes an official statement about modding, which can be used in court. So I guess it violates their the privacy rights of when you purchase the game. So Take-Two's like, we can't have none of that. Which, can you blame them for that, really? You know what I mean? Like if a mod comes out and it alters the security features that are built in within the game to stop cheating and stuff like that, whatever else it stops, maybe because of that in-game currency, you can hack someone's account or something with those security things. I don't really blame them, but I also think it's a weird stance that they're taking against the modding community that has really carried their games. Like they should come out and state exactly why they're doing this, and all the pros and the cons against this, because if they don't do that, then it just looks like they're bullying these small modding guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
they got their money, dude. They don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, true. Open 4, they don't even make any money off of this, do they? Besides maybe donations.
I guess it's the only way.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth going to court over, because they can just tie them up in court for years.
Don't ever think that businesses are your friends, because they're not.
No, they're corporations. Yeah, man. They gotta make money.
Their goal is to make money.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, they're people.
Yeah, by
like,
law.
They're my best friends. Yeah.
You are correct,
by
Jerry.
law.
By law, they are considered people.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I hope this doesn't set a precedent for future Rockstar games, because the mods were
Or
cool.
games.
Or game. I don't think I'm not sure. I don't think it will, but
I'm just saying, when Elder Scrolls 6 finally releases in 2025, like,
oh, dude, that's 10 years too early.
Yeah, if they're like,
yes, I was taking that over.
We're coming out with this new Elder Scrolls game, and it's gonna be really awesome, guys, and it's gonna be on half the platforms now and half the platforms in 20 more years, but we're just gonna do just official DLC, and we're not gonna allow modding this time. I'd still play it, but I guarantee you I wouldn't play it for fucking 10 years.
Has there been any mods for Blizzard games? I don't remember hearing about any.
Dota.
What? I was going to say, what?
Is that a mod?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dota. All Dota games, League of Legends, MOBA games came from a Warcraft 3 mod. Defense of the Ancients.
Oh, but
Yep.
isn't that like a in-game mod thing? Like how
No,
StarCraft, you can have like your
it
own
was a
map.
mod.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you had to
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, there used to be tons of mods for
Yeah,
like StarCraft 2 even has its own huge workshop for modding and things like that.
There were
Yeah,
also
that's
a
what
lot
I-
of Diablo 2 mods, like the Diablo 2 mod that turned everything into like Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you
yes,
remember that one?
yes. I forgot about that. I always
Like,
thought they had like the
there's-
StarCraft ones where you can like that's where like big game hunters came from and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that. And I
those
always
are
thought
just maps.
that's what I thought
There's-
Dota was like a play on that. I didn't know it was an actual mod.
Like I will say there is a lot less nowadays because everything's now online all the time, so you can't really do that. That's why there isn't like Diablo 3 mods, because you have to play online all the time, even if you're solo playing.
Which
Yeah,
was
So
there
there's
is no
not nearly
single-
as many. Yeah.
There
Or they-
is
or
no
they get
single
ceased.
player in Diablo 3.
Or they get cease and desisted real fast.
Yeah.
yeah,
you look
Back,
at, like,
back
they-
in the day, yeah, you could mod everything.
And you look at like even Nintendo, Super Smash Brothers Brawl had the Project Melee mod, and that was a huge scene until Nintendo straight up just cease and desisted that.
Super Smash Brothers what?
Brawl on the Wii, there was a mod that changed a lot of the mechanics. And
How
then
did you
it
get
became
that?
its,
How would you get that mod?
SD card? You would just download it
Ah.
onto an SD card, and it would use some of the exploits in the Wii like itself.
Right.
Originally, it was using a Twilight Princess exploit to run. but they
Interesting.
wound up like finding better exploits, and you would just go into it, and then you would run it right from the SD card itself, and it would use the Brawl disc, but it was its own like modded game. And they actually like they would use it, and then like people would stream it on Twitch, and then Twitch was like, yeah, Nintendo was pretty much said we can't allow you to stream this.
Yeah, fuck Nintendo for that bullshit.
And then Nintendo started sponsoring the Smash Brothers tournaments, so no tournament would hold it.
Interesting. What other than I guess League of Legends would be the most popular mod, right?
Well, League of Legends is now its own game.
Right.
But are you talking about games that started from a mod?
Yeah.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
Counter-Strike and Dota.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Well, you're saying League was a mod, right?
No,
Well,
League,
no.
League is a standalone.
Yeah.
Like the whole MOBA genre was
Came from
based
Dota,
off
which
of-
was a mod.
Yeah.
But it was based on what? Dota?
Dota, yeah.
Defense of the Ancients. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was originally a Warcraft 3 mod.
So
And then
what's bigger,
Counter-Strike-
Dota or Counter-Strike? Counter-Strike's probably the biggest, right?
They're comparable. I think Dota's actually might be bigger because it's free. But for like paid games, Counter-Strike's probably the biggest or one of the biggest.
But Counter-Strike's also been around a lot longer. You know, Dota's hasn't been around as long as Counter-Strike. What else is a
They're
big mod?
pretty well.
I guess
Yeah,
DayZ's
the
pretty
new
big.
games. Yeah.
Mhm.
DayZ's pretty big. What else? I'm trying to think. There was another one that was really
Player Unknown Battlegrounds.
I mean, DayZ kind of kicked off.
I
that
mean, all
whole
of the
arena.
all that battle arena stuff, that was all mods.
Yeah.
Player Unknowns was a mod.
Yeah, like all of those battle arenas were originally mods and like Arma and stuff like that.
Oh, I thought he just made his own game because he.
Well,
liked
now he
it.
made his own game, but yeah, no, those all started out as just straight mods.
Yeah,
Before they
I know
developed
DayZ was a
into their own
mod.
Games.
Yeah, I knew DayZ was a mod. That was smart to move to their own standalone. But what the fuck are they doing now? Interesting. Yeah, it
Team
sucks.
Fortress.
You never
Yeah,
know.
Team Fortress was a mod.
You
Yeah,
never
Team-
know when the next game could be that. You know, your next mod could be that, and you have millions more people buying your game just to get a mod. It's just such good for sales.
I mean, Counter-Strike and Dota both have over 10 million people playing them a month.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
they're
Yeah.
still those are still the two top played games on Steam every month.
Man, I miss kind of like I used to like take my old Counter-Strike 1.6, load up like Maya, and make your little fucking Steam guns skins, load them into your game. That shit was so fun. I hope that shit doesn't go away. 'Cause, you know, it was a great way to like learn the mechanics of how a game is put together. You know what I mean? And I think that's really valuable for children because when I was younger, getting into that stuff, no one's gonna teach you that. You kind of learn it all on your own. That's such a good way to learn, especially like light programming and coding and stuff.
Yeah.
I would hate to see any of that go away because of monetary reasons, but
Well, that's
I got-
something I've liked about Valve. They still usually give you the SDK, so you can play around with it on your own version. And I mean, like for CS, things like that, they still give you full access to Hammer, like the map editors and stuff like that. So anyone can go make their own maps, go make their own skins. And then if they get popular enough, you'll make money off of them.
I got one more game for you. Gary's mod.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary's mod. Yeah.
That's fucking huge.
yeah, that was amazing. Gary's mod. I can't believe how old Half-Life 2 is.
Yeah, it's really fucking old now.
The game is so old. It was such a groundbreaking game when it came out because you could still play it today and it still runs great. Like it looks great, runs great. It's pretty impressive.
We're only 20 years away from Half-Life 3.
That's what you think. That's a generous estimate. I don't think we'll ever see it. I don't think we'll ever see that game. But who knows?
Haven't they already come out and said they're not going to make it?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen so many like rumors about what's going on that they have a skeleton crew on it just to keep it in development. But the
Nah.
fact of the matter is they make so much money off of Steam and all their transactions and Dota 2 that there's no reason for them to even make Half-Life 3 and have it meet a reception like Mass Effect 3, where it's at that point, it's like, if it comes out and it's great, that's great. But if it comes out and it's not good at all,
Duke
it'll kill them. It'll kill them.
I honestly think
Not
they're
kill 'em,
waiting.
but-
I honestly think they're waiting for like that new whatever technology and programming that gives them a way to exploit it. Like with Half-Life 2, even Half-Life 1, there was like a definitive technology that they used. I forget what it was called in Half-Life 2, but it kind of gave everything like that physics of the game. And I think maybe that's what they're waiting for Half-Life 3, for something like that to evolve. Or maybe that's what the Skeleton Crew's working on, trying to find something like that. But I don't know. Who knows? But let's get out of here. Great show, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us over on our Twitter at NoLivesGaming and on our Twitch, no_lives. I got to go download some of these mods. You guys play anything this week? Got any videos coming up on the channel this week? I know we got to put some more extra content up. It's been a while.
I got a bunch of City Skylines playthroughs coming through and also wild lore vids.
Me
and
and
thinking about doing some other stuff.
me and Jerry might do some co-op stuff.
Yeah.
And I got another episode of Binding of Isaac until I figure out what I actually want to play.
You know when I keep playing RuneScape?
Oh, you mean Shopkeep?
Shopkeep.
Yeah, no, that's like a one-off thing, which I have another one of those videos coming up this week.
I've got another episode of the No Life Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke!
Saturday.
Nuzlocke.
I'm having a lot of fun with it.
That
Not so
Nuzlocke.
many deaths yet, but I got a feeling that's going to be changing soon. I've been getting lucky with the last couple gyms. If you watch the newest episode, the Golbat became a Crowbat, and it's been doing so much damage.
Doing work with that Crowbat?
Yeah, more work than I thought would happen.
Nice.
Yeah, but and then if you want to do some arm stuff, we should do some arm stuff.
I'm down with arms. I'm trying to get into some kind of co-op thing too that we can all kind of get into.
Yeah, I'm pretty much down for everything.
Dude, let's do an arms training montage.
I'm
Or the Rocky soundtrack behind it.
I'm
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm down with arms if I don't get bored of it soon, which I don't know. That might happen, but who knows?
That's the big question, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think that's the question everybody has right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a minimum of 10 hours and see where I'm at then.
Nice. I got some videos coming. I have to get this fucking graphics card thing up. I just haven't had the time to really put it all together, and I have to some nice produced content. But yeah, all right, let's get out of here. Thank you to my co-hosts, and make sure you follow us. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.